And you can't get any of our grants or loans unless you are paying your taxes. But we can help you navigate them when you have problems. Oftentimes, business owners say that we can't get through the bureaucracy of the city. And that's probably because there's one or two persons on the other end of the phone, typically, who may not understand you. And by the way, we have interpretation services in over 150 dialects. Thank you very much. So that means that if you call us on the phone and you speak in your native language, we only hope that you will understand. Can we get a translator on the phone? That's all we hope you understand in English. And hopefully you'll say yes, and we'll understand that you just said yes. And we'll get a translator on the phone, and they will help us translate back and forth. We will provide that service to you all the way through if needed. Samuel does all of that for us. He does that for a particular area within the city of Philadelphia, and also in the Asian community. Because of his ethnic background, we're utilizing him throughout all the areas of the city of Philadelphia when we need to have that connection. We believe if we connect with people where they are, closer to where they are, in their language, we can better serve them. And so that Office of Business Services helps to do that. So I mentioned licenses inspection, health department. So if you got a health problem, health inspector comes out and says, you got to do this. And then that license and inspection guy says, no, that's wrong, you got to do this. And they're talking at each other and not with each other. You can call us up, and we'll call those two inspectors and say, can you help us understand why this business is getting two different messages? And typically it's in the translation, not even the English translation, it's just in the translation of the regulations. And we will say, okay, well, if they do this, will it meet the health department's need? And if they do this, will it meet the license inspection need? And if they both say yes, we'll come back to you and say, okay, go ahead and do this and do that. We won't do it for you, but we'll tell you to do it. And that's the type of help that we provide. You understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
All right. All right. Let me take a moment to do a commercial. All of my information is also on the web. We're a very much internet-based organization. We're trying to do very much, all of our information is there on the web. So the address for the web is www.phila.gov/business. B-U-S-I-N-E-S-S. I'm getting it right?
Yep.
Okay.
Long spelling.
So if you could bring it out, that would be great.
Long spelling.
G-O-V. That's all right. That's all right. See, somebody said, I couldn't get into your website. There you go. If you get, there you go.
I didn't know that.
It comes up. All right. All right. All right. Do you want to represent? Yes. Oh, yeah, you didn't. Yeah. Oh, no. Maybe not. There you go. All right, let's just stay here. We're not going to go navigate technologically. You know, we don't want to do that. This is my boss. So, but this is where we go. So this, everything I'm talking about, everything that I'm going to regurgitate, not regurgitate, there's more information. This is where you can go. All right. It is all right here. You can get everything I'm talking about. You can get most of the stuff that Nick was talking about on this site as well. Let me talk a little bit about that. We work with the Chambers of Commerce, like the Asian, we work with the Hispanic Chamber, we work with the African American Chamber, we work with the Greater Philadelphia Chamber, we work with the Northeast Chamber, we even work with the Gay, Lesbian, Transgender Chamber. Any chamber that's out there, we are working with them. And we help to facilitate connections between the 3 or 4 or 5. We also provide them financial support that they can do the things that we want them to do. So we provide a little money, not much, but a little money to the Asian Chamber so that they can do events and organizing and networking. They can create a website page and things of that nature so that they can make a connection between business owners and all the resources that we have in government to provide. He mentioned SCORE. He mentioned Women's Business Center. There's a number of other organizations that are called technical assistance providers that are available to you, oftentimes at cheap or very inexpensive or free, where you can be able to get information and help on how to market your business, grow your business, how to access capital, how to create a business plan, wherever you are within the life frame of your business. Whether you have an idea and you want to think about starting a business, so you already thought about that and you're ready to develop a business plan, or you're beyond that and you're in your second, third year and you're trying to grow it, or you're in your fourth, fifth year and you're trying to grow it even further, or if you're in your 40th year and you don't have any children to give it to, and how would you like to move that business to the next generation? If you have children or you don't have children, we can help you all the way along that spectrum through our partners. A little bit more about the Commerce Department. We talked about the Office of Business Services, where SAM works. Nick mentioned the Office of Economic Opportunity. That's where we are charged with minority participation in the city of Philadelphia. And so this mayor has said that he wants all of our contracting to be divvied up in a manner in which the minority community will get at least 25%, and we'd like to get to 30% before he leaves office, which is in a couple of years. Right now we're at about 28%, and we moved that needle just as a commercial. When we when we got into office in 2008, that number was 17.6%. 5 years later, it's at 28%. And so we've done a good job. We're trying to get to 30 to make that the floor so that we can get to 35 and maybe 40% later on down the line. That's for the next mayor. And what we want you to know about that is that if you own firms and you are a majority owner of a firm and you are a minority, and as Indonesians, most of you are, you would be classified for the city of Philadelphia as a minority. If you own 51% of your business, you can get a classification, or what we call registration, within the city of Philadelphia, and we help you walk you through that. And you would then be able to be on our preferred, essentially on our preferred biddings list. So that when a city of Philadelphia offers a contract, and we review that, one of the things we do, and we say, okay, this is a big enough contract that it has to have subcontracting to it. And within that subcontracting, these are the number of firms that do this type of things. And then therefore, we are setting a range of, let's say, 10 or 15 or 25%. And we want you all, prime contractor, to go out and get subcontractors from the minority community to be able to participate on this contract. You will be on the list for which they go to. And so you will be on that preferred list. That's what being registered with the city of Philadelphia enables you to get. That also gets you registered with the school district. That also gets you registered with the Philadelphia Housing Authority. That also gets you registered with the state of Pennsylvania. Okay? And it's advantageous because then you're able to build your business on smaller contracts if you're at that point, then which you can then grow your business as a subcontractor. If you are a prime, that's even better. It's better to be on the list, and if you can come in and do the prime and be the primary contractor on that, that's even better. Our contracting departments want that because then 100% of their contract goes towards their numbers because we're holding them accountable to achieving that 25%. And so that's done through the Office of Economic Opportunity. Again, you'd be able to find that through this website right here. We also have the Neighborhood and Economic Development Group, and this gentleman asked a question earlier about grants. This is where we sometimes have the ability to put out grants on the street for certain things. So if you can imagine, we have a storefront improvement grant program. We call it SIP. It's a facade. You're located on, let's say, Passyunk Avenue, and you own the building. You want to fix up the outside of that building, and you don't have enough money to fix up the outside of that building or the facade of that building, you could come to us at the city and say, I'd like to apply for a storefront improvement grant, and we will match 1-to-1 up to $12,000 for the improvement of that storefront grant. So if you provided 12, we'll provide 12. Now the $12,000, I'll admit, is for a corner property, right? Corner property, so you got two sides that you got to fix up, so you got more windows, more siding maybe, so that's the maximum. But it could be anything from that, less than $12,000 up to $12,000. We will match your contribution to that. So if you want to put a new security gate on your building. And you know, we don't like the solid security gates. We like the perforated security gates so that you can see through it. And by the way, we would help work with you about marketing what you would put in that window to draw people's attention to you. Hopefully some lighting that would help you put some attention to it. Also provide security on the commercial quarter that you get. But then if you want to redo that gate, we'll pay for that. We'll match that. And everything's a matching grant in that regard. And so those are the types of things that we will enable you to do. We also are beginning to have brand new a security camera program, where it's also matching. So if you want to put a security camera on the front of your building and have it not only watch your front door, but a little bit of your sidewalk, that's the deal, because we want a little bit of the sidewalk to be watched. We will provide a matching grant to that. How much is that up to? No.
$3,000.
$3,000. Now, and what you should know, one of these cameras costs about $200–300 to install, and so it costs about $200–300 for themselves, maybe $200–300 to install. So with $3,000, you can get your whole place outfitted with cameras, right? So it's a lot of money. It might not sound $3,000 might not sound like money, but it's a lot of money, right? So, but what that enables us to do, and this is our selfish part, this is government trying to be selfish right about now. We know that if we have cameras on these commercial corridors, they can get photos of the crimes that are existing on these commercial corridors, and we can go back to those cameras and see the pictures of the crimes that are committed, and then we're able to capture these perpetrators a whole lot easier and a whole lot quicker. And so what the deal is that the camera equipment that you would get would be up to the technology specifications of our police department. Now you own it, it's yours to maintain, it's lock, stock, and barrel. You own it, maintain it, and so forth. What we hope is that you'll maintain it and keep it on, so that when that unfortunate situation does occur,